Kia ora and hello. I'm Chester for Earth Sciences New Zealand. We're doing our weekly check-in with the Met Service and meteorologist John Law joining us from the Met Service. Once again, John, really appreciate your time here on this Thursday.
Kia ora, Chester. Yeah, thanks very much for having me. It's been a pretty settled week, so
Yeah.
it's been nicely back here in Wellington. Hope you had a good time up in Auckland as well.
Yeah, just a lot of sunshine, which I am not
Yeah,
complaining about. And I think a lot of Kiwis are wondering, we've got a little bit of weather coming in. Is this going to ruin our weekend planned?
mm. Well, hopefully not. Like you say, we have got this next lot of weather coming in. There are some
Mm,
severe weather watches and warnings, which you can see on the chart behind us, and particularly for those higher mountain parts of Westland, the heavy rainfall warning through there, 100 to 130 millimeters of rainfall. That's not huge amounts for the region, but it's been a fair while since we've seen any severe weather watches and warnings across the country.
right.
While the wettest weather's on that western coast, it's all pushing in from the west, from the Tasman Sea. On the other side of the hills, out towards parts of Canterbury, from those stronger winds. But the benefit of that has been a real uptick in our temperatures. So places like Alexandra, from jumping from about 4 or 5 degrees last night to about 11 in an hour or so. So a
Mm.
real change in that sense. But I think it is a short-lived affair as we head in towards the weekend. I hope it stays pretty wet in places like Hokitika. For most of us, the weekend's looking pretty good as well, I think.
Yeah, so a good weekend ahead. Hopefully, you've got some good plans, everybody who's watching, and you too, John. And with
Mm,
that said, I do kind of want to switch gears. Let's talk a little bit about the long range. And usually, we like to throw in like a Neo 35 or some kind of imagery, but I'm actually going to speak briefly to El Nino. I know you've heard probably a lot about it, and there's a lot of
mm.
chatter about it in the media, right, John?
Oh, there's been a lot of talk, and it's definitely
Mm.
one of those big factors that we look at as we head through, particularly that longer range climate forecast as we head
Right.
through towards the next few months or so.
Yeah, and we'll have our latest seasonal climate outlook, which actually covers the winter period. That is coming out in just a couple of weeks. So look for that around the first, 2nd of June, just after the King's birthday. But check this out. This is the relative Nino 3.4 index forecast. I'm not going to break down the whole thing, John, but essentially it is a forecast that tells us whether El Nino is likely to come. And you see those colored lines there. Those are all the seasonal models, and they all have that upward trajectory through May, June, July into the El Nino territory, which is that orangey red color there. Notice we just came out of a weak La Nina, so it's a pattern flip from last year all the way into the upcoming winter and spring. And too soon to tell if it's going to be a really strong El Nino, but 90% confidence or greater that El Nino is going to form, and that's going to have an impact to us here in New Zealand. So I know a lot of us will be dealing with the impacts of that, right, John? It impacts the seasonal time span, but it does impact everyday weather as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it has that real theme for
Mm,
the winter season. There'll still be days when we won't get what feels like an El Nino pattern, but it's just generally looking at that, like you say, like particularly the return of those southwesterlies. So those areas,
yes.
perhaps Southland, the Fjordland, perhaps seeing a
Mm,
bit more in the way of wetter weather, not
hmm.
dissimilar to what we see at the moment. But I think as we go through in towards the winter, how it shapes up and plans out will all still to be paid for. So I'm looking forward to that climate summary that comes out just in a couple of weeks. Can you
Yep.
believe we're almost at the end of May already?
It's almost
But
winter.
like it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you can see that trend there on that graph. Definitely one to watch out for over the next few months or so.
Yeah, a lot to see there. John Law, thank you very much. I hope you have a great rest of your week and weekend as well.
You too. Enjoy the weekend. Cheers,
All
Chester.
right. Cheers, everyone. Have a good day. And thanks for watching this video today.